Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And I think that this download, I just got it like a couple of seconds ago, and I find it very remarkable. Now, in dealing with karmics, for quite a while, there's a lot of information about how there are karmics who are putting forth blockages on finances, on relationships, on friendships, on family, anything that karma can do to put a block, that is where they're directing it. And what I was shown was Divine Spirit was showing me about Yeshua. Now, in the Bible, and if you pick up the Bible or if you look at it online, um, Divine Spirit is telling me curiosity is what killed the cat. And I love cats, okay? But you will not die. You will be set free. Parts of you will be disintegrated. Layers will fall away. Those layers are old self, and that is what comes to death, okay? Um, but Divine Spirit was telling me this. We hear about Yeshua healing people. Some people were not healed, okay? Because of the lack of faith, because of the energy that was around. My spirit was telling me this, and I've never ever thought of this, right? But as brought out in Daniel, and I thought it was Job, but it was Daniel who was praying, and he had to pray for 21 days because the angel actually was on its way. But there were entities that were coming against the angel, and the angel had to have assistance from Archangel Michael. And we have different archangels. We got Archangel Michael, which is for we have Archangel Michael, which is for protection. We have Archangel Raphael, which is for healing. We have Archangel Gabriel, which is for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We have Archangel Uriel for motivation, innovation, idea. Different forces that come against our will. But it's also about different people that were coming against the will of those that needed healing. Now, I've said it before. I don't do this on my own, of course. It must be in prayer that I do this. And so there are plenty of other archangels. These are the directional archangels, however. And their purpose is about giving us direction. Anyways, the thing about it is that not only are the angels coming up against different forces in order, but when there is an agreement in prayer, especially, I have noticed some very interesting things that take place. And so what I'm talking about, what Divine Spirit is showing me, is that the struggles that a person goes to even get to Yeshua. So all we see is a bunch of people that they want to be healed. And I really think that this is so really powerful, because in the Bible, it just shows that people are there and they want to be healed, and so they want to listen to the. They want to listen to the sermon and then they go, to hear his sermons, his teachings, and they are fed and they are nourished, mind, body, and soul. There are different struggles that take place for a person to even come to Yeshua. But interesting enough, the Divine Spirit is telling me about the person that was paralyzed, and he had friends or people that brought him to there's a river, or there is a spring, and a certain period of time the spring is aroused, or it's an angel comes and brings forth healing into the spring of the water, and people go there far and wide to be healed. They just have to make the trip to get into the water, and that's a message within itself. But really, I'm going to take some time to talk about that. You see, the people traveled far and wide. You don't know about what was going on in the midst of their travels. You don't know what they had to deal with. But they all are in motion, moving towards healing, to the waters that has been stirred up for such a time to bring forth healing, to bring forth breakthroughs. And so what's so interesting is that the people were able to bring him to the spring, but he was totally on his own. Like, the people that brought him to the spring were not called to bring him into the waters itself. You can take a horse and bring them to the water, but it's up to them to drink it. And some people may call you to go to certain directions, certain journeys along your certain means, or certain segments along your path. But it is up to you. And so, interesting enough, the guy said, I just can't get in the water. Yeshua said, pick up your bed and walk. It's not so much about what someone else does for you, but it's about what you have enough faith to do for yourself. And so just as many people travel far and wide at a certain period of time to go to this spring that is aroused and blessed by this angel, healing angel, Yeshua, based on what you will have faith and trust, will meet you where you stand, will knock on your door to your heart. But see, the thing about it is that, are you on the other side to let him in? You see, because a person can knock on your door, but are you even home to answer it? And so the thing about it is that with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, I could say it. I feel like sometimes I'll have a dream and I'm saying it in my sleep. Self-love, self-care, self-nurture. Self-love, self-care, self-nurture. Self-love, self-care, self-nurture. Because that's you going home from the travels. You going home, you going into the midst of your heart, you stepping into those waters, which is a representation of emotions. But you going within. And it's about what you do. There are going to be a lot of people that will try to prevent you from being from other people. But in the end of it, really, it's about preventing you from going into self. So we don't know about the travels that a person goes through to even get to those waters, that spring that is blessed by the angel of healing. And in the same like manner, we don't know what a person goes through. We don't know what a person goes through as they were on their way to get that healing, as they were on that way because they were traveling far and wide. There were so many people that if in the Bible, the different accounts of miracles that took place was also the miracle of people working together to travel far and wide, to go against the very things that brought forth blockages. But because of those blockages, some were able to make it and some were not. It's about your determination. There are people who took the roof off the building to lower down a person who was paralyzed so that he can be healed. It's about humanity working together so that they all can be healed, working together. Now, there are a lot of tactics. There's temptations, there's distractions, and there's disturbances that will cause division. And sometimes people don't even know that they're doing it. But there's a lot of people who know exactly what they're doing. There are people who are a part of the agenda to divide, and they themselves are in unity. Go figure that. We, humanity of love, which is our foundation, those who have the foundation of love, as you go within with self-love, self-care, self-nurture, you have to understand, you know what? The blockage are not so much about preventing me from loving and being in a loving relationship, but it's about me not going within, which leads me to the right people to where I can be healed. Because each person that was found at that mount where Yeshua was speaking and teaching and healing, they all had to go within and say, do I really want this healing? Every person was at a fork in the road. Do I choose to continue to go on in my life in dread, or do I go down an unknown path where I am in hopes and I have faith and I have trust that I can be healed? Yes, I can be. See, the thing about it is they said yes to themselves first. Yes, I can be healed. Yes, I can be restored. Yes, I can be invigorated. Yes, I can be rejuvenated. And because of that, they went far and wide. But in the end, it's up to you.